The future of robotics and artificial intelligence is not a distant dream. It is a present reality unfolding around us. What we are witnessing is not just the rise of smarter machines, but the dawn of a new relationship between human imagination and machine intelligence. This is not about technology replacing us, but about redefining who we are, how we work, and what it means to be human in a world shared with intelligent systems. First, consider the shift from tools to teammates. For centuries, we designed machines to extend our muscle, then later our memory. But now, robots and AI are evolving into collaborators, partners in creativity, decision-making, and execution. Imagine surgical robots not just following instructions, but anticipating needs. Picture warehouses where humans and autonomous machines move in harmony, each understanding the rhythm of the other. The future workplace will not be man versus machine, but man with machine. Second, the rise of intelligence in motion changes everything. Yesterday's robots were rigid, programmed, and limited to predictable environments. Tomorrow's machines will be fluid, adaptive, and capable of learning in real time. They will navigate chaotic streets, respond to unpredictable human behavior, and adjust themselves without waiting for a software update. Think of drones that adapt mid-flight to weather conditions, or industrial robots that optimize processes on their own. Mobility combined with intelligence is what transforms machines into living systems of innovation. For centuries, human beings have viewed machines as instruments, extensions of our will designed to accomplish tasks that were otherwise too difficult, too repetitive, or too time-consuming. From the wheel to the steam engine, from typewriters to computers, technology has always served as a tool to extend human capacity. But today, in the age of robotics and artificial intelligence, something remarkable is happening. Machines are evolving beyond the role of tools. They are beginning to emerge as teammates, collaborators, and in some cases, decision makers in their own right. This shift represents one of the most profound transformations in the way humanity works and creates. When we think of tools, we imagine objects that remain dormant until we command them. They require instructions, they wait for input, and they do not possess agency. A hammer, after all, cannot decide which nail to hit. A calculator cannot choose which problem to solve. But now, robots and AI systems are being built with the ability to perceive, adapt, and anticipate. They are not merely executing commands. They are learning from experience, recognizing patterns, and even predicting what we will need before we ask for it. This is the difference between a machine that does what you say and a machine that understands what you mean. In the workplace, this transformation is already visible. In medicine, for example, robotic systems are being used in operating rooms not simply as mechanical arms directed by surgeons, but as intelligent assistants that can analyze data in real time, suggest adjustments during procedures, and enhance the precision of human hands. In logistics and manufacturing, robots no longer just move parts from one place to another. They work alongside human colleagues, sensing their movements, adapting to their pace, and learning to optimize efficiency. These machines are not replacing workers, they are augmenting them, filling gaps, and allowing humans to focus on higher value tasks that demand creativity, judgment, and vision. The implications are vast. If robots and AI evolve into teammates, then the very design of organizations must change. Workflows, hierarchies, and decision-making processes will no longer be structured around human effort alone, but around a hybrid intelligence that blends human strengths with machine capabilities. Leaders will need to think not about managing people or technology in isolation, but about orchestrating symbiotic teams where machines and humans complement one another. The most successful organizations of the future will not be those that automate the most tasks, but those that design the most effective partnerships between man and machine. This shift also forces us to rethink trust. Working with a teammate is very different from using a tool. A tool does not surprise you, it does not adapt, and it does not learn. A teammate does. To accept robots and AI as collaborators, we must build systems that are transparent, reliable, and aligned with our values. Just as we trust human colleagues to make good decisions and support our goals, we must build machines that earn and deserve our confidence. The future of robotics and AI, therefore, is not about creating smarter tools. It is about creating meaningful teammates. And in doing so, we are not diminishing the role of human beings. On the contrary, we are elevating it. By allowing machines to handle the repetitive, the complex, and the data-driven, we free ourselves to focus on imagination, empathy, and vision, the qualities that make us uniquely human. Would you like me to move on and expand key point? Nuns to in 500 words, the same way, machines of the past were built for certainty. They were designed to operate in environments that were structured, predictable, and repetitive. Assembly lines, data entry systems, and even early industrial robots could only function when the world around them was carefully controlled. A slight variation, an unexpected obstacle, or an unforeseen change would bring them to a halt. But the future is not predictable, and the world that robotics and AI are now entering is dynamic, complex, and full of surprises. That is why the next great leap forward is the rise of intelligence in motion, the ability of machines to learn, adapt, and evolve in real time. This evolution is perhaps most visible in autonomous vehicles. A car is no longer just a machine that moves from point A to point B. It is now a mobile computer that must constantly process enormous streams of information, weather, traffic, road conditions, and human behavior, and make decisions within fractions of a second. These vehicles do not follow rigid scripts. They adjust their strategies in the flow of motion, recognizing that the environment around them is unpredictable. The intelligence inside them is not static, but alive, always recalibrating as reality unfolds. The same principle applies to industrial robots. In the past, they were caged inside factories, programmed to perform the same sequence of actions endlessly. Now, thanks to sensors, machine learning, and computer vision, they can operate in open environments, responding to the presence of humans, adapting to different materials, and even learning new tasks without requiring a full reprogramming. These machines are no longer rigid arms. They are flexible collaborators that bring intelligence into every movement. Healthcare provides another glimpse into this transformation. Imagine robotic exoskeletons that adapt to the unique gait of a patient recovering from injury, adjusting in real time as the body heals and muscles strengthen. Or surgical robots that sense the unexpected, such as a shift in tissue or a sudden change in a patient's condition, and respond instantly to ensure safety and precision. These examples demonstrate how intelligence in motion enables machines to operate not just as tools, but as active participants in environments that are constantly changing. The essence of this shift lies in feedback loops. Intelligent machines are now designed to perceive, act, evaluate, and adjust, all in continuous cycles. This makes them more like living organisms than static instruments. The more data they encounter, the more nuanced their responses become. A delivery drone that navigates a storm today will be smarter the next time it flies through one. An AI-powered robot that encounters unexpected customer behavior will learn to handle it better tomorrow. With every encounter, the machine grows. But intelligence in motion is not only about machines. It is about the humans who work with them. Our challenge is to design environments where adaptive intelligence can flourish. That means giving machines enough freedom to learn, while ensuring they operate within ethical and safety boundaries. It means recognizing that unpredictability is not a problem to eliminate, but a reality to embrace. The organizations and societies that thrive will be those that see robots not as rigid servants, but as dynamic systems that bring resilience and adaptability to every challenge. In the end, intelligence in motion is about creating machines that live with us, learn with us, and move with us. They are not locked in laboratories or bound by fixed instructions. They are part of our daily lives, shaping and being shaped by the world as it changes. This is the true power of robotics and AI, not intelligence that is static and isolated, but intelligence that flows, evolves, and grows alongside humanity. Do you want me to go ahead and expand key point, Gnome Dice 3, in 500 words in the same style? In the age of robotics and artificial intelligence, it is tempting to ask the wrong question: what parts of human labor can machines replace? While this question seems practical, it overlooks the deeper truth that the greatest value of intelligent machines is not in replacing us, but in amplifying the very qualities that make us human. This is what can be called the human algorithm, the combination of intuition, creativity, empathy, and judgment that no machine can replicate, but that every machine can enhance. The future will belong not to those who compete with machines, but to those who learn to design systems where human intelligence and machine intelligence amplify one another. At its core, the human algorithm is about decision-making. Machines are extraordinary at analyzing vast quantities of data, identifying patterns invisible to the human eye, and offering solutions that are mathematically precise. But decision-making is rarely just about numbers. It involves context, culture, and consequences that go beyond logic. A machine can recommend a medical treatment based on data, but a doctor must weigh that recommendation against the patient's emotional state, family circumstances, and long-term well-being. In this moment, the machine provides clarity, but the human provides meaning. Together, they create a decision that is both informed and wise. The same applies to creativity. Algorithms can generate music, art, and even literature, but their outputs are derived from existing data. They can remix the past, but cannot truly invent the future. Human beings, on the other hand, are not bound by precedent. We imagine what does not exist, we challenge assumptions, and we create visions that have no historical blueprint. Yet, when creativity meets machine intelligence, something powerful emerges. A designer can use AI to rapidly prototype thousands of concepts, explore possibilities that would have taken years by hand, and then choose the path that best reflects human emotion and aesthetic sense. The machine accelerates exploration while the human shapes direction. The human algorithm also thrives on empathy, a quality machines cannot genuinely possess. A customer service AI can predict common frustrations, but only a human can read subtle tones of despair or joy in a customer's voice. A caregiving robot may assist an elderly person with physical needs, but it cannot comfort them with the warmth of shared experience. Empathy is not a data set, it is a lived connection. And yet, machines can help by freeing humans from repetitive tasks, giving us more time and energy to engage in these deeply human interactions. Ultimately, the human algorithm is not about rejecting machines, but about defining our unique role in a machine-augmented world. It requires us to see ourselves not as competitors in a race we cannot win, but as orchestrators of intelligence. We must learn to ask, what is the machine best at? What am I best at? And how can these strengths be combined to create something neither could achieve alone? In the future of robotics and AI, success will not be measured by how much work machines take over, but by how much human potential they unlock. The human algorithm is not a relic of the past, it is the compass for the future. By embracing it, we ensure that technology does not diminish our humanity, but magnifies it, helping us to make wiser decisions, design more boldly, and connect more deeply with one another. Shall I continue and expand key point Nunta 4 in 500 words for you next? The most powerful technologies are often the ones we do not see. Electricity, for example, revolutionized the world not because people admired light bulbs, but because it quietly powered entire systems, from factories to homes to cities, without drawing attention to itself. The same is true today of robotics and artificial intelligence. Their greatest impact will not come from the humanoid robots we watch in videos or the flashy AI applications we test on our phones, but from the invisible infrastructure they will create behind the scenes. They will become the hidden operating systems of modern life, quietly orchestrating the flow of goods, energy, information, and decisions in ways that reshape how the world functions. Already, we are witnessing this shift in global supply chains. In the past, logistics required armies of planners to forecast demand, coordinate shipments, and manage inventory. Today, AI systems are embedded deep inside these processes, predicting what products will be needed, where they should be stored, and how they should move across continents. Robots in warehouses and ports move goods with speed and precision, while algorithms optimize routes for trucks and cargo ships. Most consumers never see this system, but they experience it every time a package arrives faster than expected or a store shelves itself just in time to meet demand. Cities, too, are becoming living organisms powered by invisible intelligence. Traffic lights are no longer simple timers, they are nodes in a network that adjust to real-time traffic flow. Energy grids are evolving into adaptive systems that predict usage patterns, balance supply with demand, and incorporate renewable sources seamlessly. Public safety increasingly relies on predictive analytics that anticipate where resources should be deployed before incidents occur. None of this is visible to the casual observer, yet the impact is profound. It changes how we live, move, and interact in urban spaces. Healthcare offers another glimpse of invisible infrastructure. Algorithms are now embedded in diagnostic systems, hospital scheduling, and drug discovery pipelines. Robots may not greet you at the clinic door, but they may be preparing your medication in the pharmacy or sterilizing equipment in the background. AI may not sit beside your doctor, but it is often the unseen force scanning through millions of medical records to offer insights that guide treatment. Patients rarely notice this machinery, but they benefit when care is delivered faster, more accurately, and more personally. This invisibility is both a strength and a challenge. On one hand, it allows technology to fade into the background, creating seamless experiences where systems just work. On the other hand, it risks disconnecting people from the forces shaping their lives. If the most important decisions about transportation, commerce, or even health are being made by systems we do not see, we must ensure they are designed with transparency and accountability. Invisible infrastructure must not mean invisible responsibility. The future of robotics and AI, then, is less about machines we interact with directly and more about the silent networks they form. They will be the hidden veins and arteries of society, pumping intelligence through every industry, every city, and every home. The more integrated they become, the less we will notice them until we stop and realize that our world could not function without them. This is the paradox of invisible infrastructure. The more unseen it is, the more essential it becomes. Do you want me to continue and expand key point known 5 in 500 words in the same visionary style? As robotics and artificial intelligence expand their reach into every corner of society, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Intelligence without ethics is dangerous. We can design machines that learn faster, move smarter, and make decisions more efficiently than humans. But if those decisions are not rooted in fairness, accountability, and transparency, then we risk building systems that erode trust instead of creating progress. The real foundation of the future is not hardware or algorithms, it is ethics as the operating system. Without it, the promise of AI and robotics could quickly become a threat to human dignity, security, and freedom. Consider the question of trust. People are willing to work alongside machines, share data with systems, and rely on algorithms only when they believe those technologies act in their best interests. Trust cannot be programmed with code. It must be designed through intention. An autonomous vehicle, for example, is not simply judged by its ability to drive smoothly. It is judged by whether passengers believe it will prioritize their safety in unpredictable situations. A medical AI is not valued solely for accuracy, but for whether patients feel confident it treats them as individuals, not as data points. Without trust, even the most advanced system will be rejected. Transparency is equally essential. The more invisible AI and robotics become in the background of our lives, the more important it is that their decisions can be explained and understood. A hiring algorithm cannot simply choose candidates in silence. It must be able to show why it selected one person over another. A financial system that grants or denies credit must make its logic visible, so that people are not at the mercy of a black box. Ethics demands that machines are not mysterious authorities, but understandable partners in decision-making. Responsibility is another cornerstone. When a human makes a mistake, accountability is clear. When a machine makes a decision that causes harm, who is responsible? The programmer, the company, the regulator, or the machine itself? We must create frameworks where responsibility is never diluted. If AI systems are to be teammates, then they must be held to standards just as high as those we hold for human colleagues. Accountability cannot vanish simply because a decision was automated. There is also the danger of bias. Machines learn from data, and data reflects the imperfections of the world. If we are not careful, AI will inherit human prejudices. whether in hiring, policing, lending, or healthcare, and amplify them with the authority of mathematics. Ethics demands that we actively detect, correct, and prevent bias, not treat it as an inevitable flaw. It requires vigilance to ensure that robotics and AI do not deepen inequalities, but instead help close them. Ultimately, the true power of ethics as the operating system is that it enables progress to be sustainable. Innovation that ignores values may succeed briefly, but it collapses under the weight of mistrust. Innovation guided by ethics, however, builds systems that people embrace, protect, and expand. In this way, ethics is not a barrier to progress. It is the very thing that makes progress possible. The future of robotics and AI will be defined not only by how intelligent machines become, but by how wisely we design their purpose. If we embed ethics at the core, then technology will amplify the best of humanity rather than the worst. Without it, we risk creating machines that are powerful but soulless, efficient but unjust. The choice is ours, and it must be made now, before the code of ethics is as vital as the code that drives the machines. Would you like me to go ahead and expand key point 96 in 500 words to complete the full set? The future shaped by robotics and artificial intelligence will not simply be about faster machines, smarter systems, or more efficient workflows. It will be about a deeper transformation, a great redesign of how we live, work, and learn. Every industrial revolution has forced humanity to rethink its institutions, its values, and its daily rhythms. The agricultural revolution gave birth to cities and civilizations. The industrial revolution redefined labor, education, and even family life. Now, the intelligence revolution, powered by robotics and AI, demands nothing less than a complete reimagination of society itself. Work is the first arena where this redesign becomes visible. For generations, jobs were defined by tasks that required human effort: lifting, assembling, calculating, or processing. Machines are now increasingly capable of performing those same tasks with greater precision and speed. This does not mean that humans will become obsolete. Rather, it means that the definition of work will shift. Instead of competing with machines, humans will focus on what cannot be automated: creativity, strategy, empathy, and leadership. A factory worker of the future may not assemble products by hand, but may oversee a network of adaptive robots, designing new processes, solving unexpected challenges, and ensuring that technology serves human needs. The workplace will evolve from a place of repetition to a hub of innovation. Education must follow this transformation. For decades, schools were designed to prepare students for predictable careers in predictable industries. Memorization, standardization, and repetition were the foundations of the system. But in a world where machines can memorize more, calculate faster, and standardize better, those skills are no longer enough. The schools of the future must nurture curiosity, adaptability, collaboration, and emotional intelligence. Students must learn how to ask the right questions, not just find the right answers. They must be trained to see possibilities beyond the data and to imagine futures that algorithms cannot yet conceive. The great redesign of education will prepare individuals not for one career, but for a lifetime of reinvention. Society itself will also undergo change. If machines take over routine labor, what does it mean to create value as a human being? How do we measure prosperity in a world where wealth is generated by both humans and machines? These questions will force us to rethink economic models, social safety nets, and even the meaning of community. The redesign will not be about distributing jobs as they were in the past, but about ensuring purpose, dignity, and opportunity for everyone in a future shaped by intelligent systems. At the heart of this transformation lies the need for vision. Change will not simply happen to us, it will be shaped by the choices we make. If we design robotics and AI with ethics, inclusivity, and creativity in mind, then the great redesign will be one of empowerment. If we fail to do so, it risks becoming one of division and inequality. The future is not only about machines becoming smarter, it is about humans becoming wiser in how we redesign the systems that govern our lives. The great redesign is not optional, it is already underway. The question is whether we will approach it with fear or with imagination. And the answer will determine whether robotics and AI become tools of disruption or foundations of a new and better society. Now you have all 6 key points expanded into 500 words each for a complete keynote-style speech. Would you like me to combine all 6 expansions into one seamless full speech that flows naturally from beginning to end?